Hi and welcome to Lincolnshire Living. In this month's programme we'll be looking at what's been happening in our region and meeting some of Lincolnshire's very talented individuals. Let's take a look at what's coming up in today's programme. Channel 7 is invited to Humberside Police Leadership Challenge Awards. Star Vicky Hawkins unveils Specialised Communication Centre at Lincolnshire College. We spend time with young people taking part in the Fair Play tournament, and we meet Leslie Vince, MBE, to find out more about the Marfin Trust. Joe Fraser is arguably Grimsby's #1 boxing promoter. Originally born in Jamaica, he moved to Grimsby in the 1960s. In the 45 years he's lived here, he's owned successful businesses and become a very popular member of Grimsby's community. In 2006, Joe published his autobiography. We invited him into the studios to learn more about his life. Well, I'm joined here with the one and only Joe Fraser, who last year got his own book published. Now, Joe, welcome to Lincolnshire Living.
Thank you very much.
Can you tell us what inspired you to write a book?
The day I arrived in Grimsby, you know, this little town has inspired me so much. As soon as I got off the train, Grimsby town station, I asked where could I get a taxi, and I went across and got a taxi. As soon as I was coming up towards the taxi, this middle-aged gentleman, because I was a young man in them days, and said to me, "You're not from Grimsby, aren't you?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm just arriving from Jamaica." And the first thing he said to me, "Welcome home." And honestly, you know, I mean, that absolutely.
And there's that.
I was breathless, you know, I didn't expect that.
So would you say that from that moment then
from
Grimsby
that moment, you know,
been your home?
Yeah, I said to myself, you know, Grimsby is Joe Fraser. Joe Fraser is Grimsby. Because I've always said, Lincolnshire is a little bit of heaven and earth. And whenever I die, I want to bury somewhere up in the woods there where I can look down in Grimsby and say, "Thank you, Grimsby, because this town has been so good to me and my family." The people of Grimsby is absolutely magnificent.
Sometimes it's really hard to always look on the positive side. How do you find that within yourself? Is it your family or is it religion that...
Every morning, as my eyes open, I look through the window and I said, "Thank you, God." Because I am a one day at a time man. Tomorrow may never be mine, you know what I mean? And I said, "Thank you, God," you know, because people don't realize that this great man is always there with a helping hand.
How did you become a boxing promoter? I mean, how did that come about? And
well, when I first came to England, when I was a young lad growing up in Kingston, you know, you had some chap like Bunny Grant and a lot of them good boxing chaps. So we all used to go down the gym to keep fit, you know, and the man, you know, I was only an amateur. And when I came to Grimsby, you know, to England, the matter of fact, if I remember clearly, it wasn't long I arrived here. I was reading the local press and I saw the Exchange Boxing Club, which wasn't far from the YMCA, just around the corner from the YMCA. That was in Railway Street. The YMCA was in Pastor Street, and you know, I started making inquiry, and they were having some amateur show there, and I went round, and that was it. You know, I just get involved. You know, and when my son started to grow up a little bit, you know, I used to take them down by the club and get them interested in boxing. I would love to put on a world title fight in Grimsby. And I've spoken to quite a few people. World title fight isn't a cheap fight.
No.
And to put one in Grimsby, it's going to cost a bit of money. So obviously, I would need some concrete sponsors if it to take place. But you never know. You know, Joe Freight is a very persuasive type of man, you know, and any young boxer coming up, hopeful, as soon if they reach the qualification to fight for a British title fight, I don't mean an era title fight, I mean a British title fight, I will give him £10,000 for a start. Wow. I'm going to take life a little bit easier. You know, I'm going to take a bit of time with I've got one of my granddaughter living with us now. And she is my little angel. And she's been with us now since she was about 6 months, 7 months old, and I've never taken her away on holiday and things like that now. I'm going to start to think of that now, you know. You see, I've done so much for the lovely boxing fans of Grimsby, so it's time Joe Freight to do something for himself now, you know.
Is there ever any call to go home?
This is home, my darling. This is home. You know, I've got a lovely home in the countryside. I've been there for 30 years. The local people terrific, and lately, a lot of football fans been seeing me up by the club, and they think that I'm only just going. Well, I'm going to prove to them now that I am a Grimsby town man, you know, well and truly, you know.
Joe, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Rosa, it's absolutely, I've been waiting for this for a long time.
I'd just like to say that your book is a really uplifting story, and I think that it would be a pleasure for anybody to read it. So thank you very much for joining us.
Before I go, lovey, I want to say thank you, sweet Jesus. Thank you.
That's lovely. Thank you. Humberside Police have been working hard to achieve new targets and introduce new initiatives. As a result, they've reduced the crime rates in our area. To celebrate and recognise the people that have made outstanding contributions, a unique awards night was held.
I was delighted in May this year when the Home Office formally acknowledged the significant improvements we've achieved, and we were released from the warm embrace of the Police Standards Unit, who've been working with us to improve performance, and we were back in mainstream policing. My ambition as the Chief was to celebrate success in Team Humberside, and tonight's gala dinner and the associated leadership awards by the Chief Constable is very much an opportunity to thank and to celebrate the success of outstanding men and women who work for Humberside Police, and to acknowledge that we've come a long way, we've learned the lessons, and really delivering some good quality policing now across Humberside day in, day out, and that's something of which I'm very proud and want to build on for the future.
This is the first Leadership Challenge Awards, Chief Constable's Leadership Challenge Awards, and I hope it won't be the last. I'm sure this will go on from strength to strength, but it's a pleasure to be here for the first one.
My name's Sergeant Kirsty Tock, and I won the Inspirational Woman of the Year award. I'm the founder of the Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual and Transgender Support Network for Humberside Police, which is about 4 years ago now.
I'm Inspector Deborah Shamulls, and I've won the Contribution to Development of Women Within the Organisation award for this year. I'm the chairperson of Newly Formed Women's Network, which is better known as WIN, Women's Integrated Network, where we're actually doing a lot of work to help women sort of through promotion and through specialisms and things, and to realise their value.
I've won the Flagship Working Award for this evening. Basically, over the last 2 years, I've been working together with a local partnership to develop different initiatives to reduce violent crime in the Grimsby area.
The award I won tonight is a community award. This is in relation to the work I've done with some of the local youths, the multi-agency approach. I accept this award on really behalf of not just myself but the whole team. and the support I've had off Inspector Biggs and Sergeant Swales. Without them, I don't think I could have done some of the work that I have done. It's absolutely fantastic. The award's making me feel great, and I'm really pleased.
The award we've won tonight is the team award, but as it says, it is a team award, and there's many people here not present tonight that probably should be here to share in this.
Yeah, I'm Robert Carver from Cottingham Police Station. I've won the have a look at Individual Achievement Award from Homicide Police. Just for the amount of crime reports I've submitted this year that I've detected and the amount of work I've submitted compared to my colleagues.
I'm DC 1296 Alan Clark, and I work at Grimsby in the serious crime team. And I've been at Grimsby for 29 years, and this is a recognition of my work at that division.
I've received an award tonight on behalf of David Hunter, who's an absolute legend in Homicide Police. 33 years, detective, dealt with many murders, outstanding police officer. Couldn't be here tonight because he's having a well-earned cruise, but really a legend in Homicide Police. So well-deserved award. Well done, David.
And I'm here on behalf of Paul Cheeseman, a superb person. All chief superintendents obviously earn far too much money because they're both on holiday cruise, and Paul Cheeseman is in Las Vegas spending his money on the roulette machine, but well deserved. He is a superb person and he really deserved to win this award.
And next year it's us too.
Recently, Linkage College Toynton campus invited Emmerdale star Vicky Hawkins to unveil their 2 brand new learning resources, a computer-aided training, education and communication facility and holistic therapies for students with severe physical, cognitive, sensory and learning disabilities. We went along to their Victorian-themed open day to check out their state-of-the-art facilities.
It's the official opening day for both the Quiet Place and the new Carlton CTEC Centre. There's going to be a book fair. It's a Victorian theme book fair. We've got a Star of Emmerdale opening the centre. Yeah, we've got 3 rooms in the centre, both set out, all 3 of them, sorry, set out identical. We'll have all state-of-the-art computers, hardware and software that's accessible to students with learning difficulties and disabilities. As lecturer here, I've found with the new software and new hardware, it is a lot easier. Students are engaging more. They're finding it easier to work with the new equipment, so obviously we're finding it easier to teach them.
Well, the first thing is that some students can't use a keyboard, but with touch typing on a touch screen, they're able to access a computer, and then they can use a swap board, which they can draw things with their finger on that board, and this enables us to let them learn about computers and how to use the new technology.
Well, today I've been to the common room where I got mugged. I got totally pinned up against the wall, but they're really great students. And then I went for lunch, had a look around the lounge, had a look around the facilities that they've got here for the students. I've had a really nice day actually, it's been great. I think the facilities that they've got here are absolutely brilliant. And one thing that I thought was great was that, you know, a lot of the students originally didn't have the confidence or the capability to use the equipment that they had here. But since they've had this grant, now all the students have enough facilities for one. All getting the confidence to use them, which I've seen upstairs, which was brilliant. And they're all really enjoying themselves as well. But, like I said earlier as well, they can have all the equipment and facilities in the world, but if they haven't got good staff to help, you know, the students use them and give them the confidence to do it, then, you know, there's no point in the facilities being here, really. So it's the staff who I think deserve all the applause, really, as well. But the students have absolutely loved it. They've been brilliant. There's one guy called John who literally can't keep still. He's like a jack in the box, but they're all really well mannered, polite, you know, they weren't pushy or anything. And one guy said, oh, you know, you've made my day, which kind of made me cry a little bit. So it was like, and they got me some flowers for doing it, which was great as well.
Well, it's a great delight to me to come to the opening of A Quiet Place in Linkage Community. Linkage Community has had a quiet place for 18 months, nearly 2 years now, and it's our first time we've been working with young adults in residential setting. Mainly we're in mainstream primary schools, so it's a great joy to see it working so well here. A Quiet Place holistic personal development programme takes place in a healing environment, and this particular one was chosen by Taunton to be an enchanted glade in a forest. It is a multi-sensory environment, but we don't use a lot of electricity, which sometimes happens in other multi-sensory environments. It's designed to be a place of beauty, and when people come in they tend to take a breath and start to talk very quietly, which allows a space for something different to happen, something exciting, something positive. If a student is referred to go through a Quiet Place programme, we work in partnership with the referrer to target emotion intelligence outcomes, which might be to do with managing behaviour, self-esteem, resilience, communication skills, empathy, that kind of thing. And once we've targeted those outcomes, everybody's working together, and the young person will come through on a 6-week programme. They will come to a Quiet Place twice a week.
Well, the tutors love it because they got another arm to the problems with students with learning disabilities. It's not just a matter of reading, writing and learning. It's trying to develop them as a person and to bring them forward into adult life so that they can take part within a community.
Just before Christmas, the new Fair Play Football League kicked off at Hereford School. The event is the beginning of a new venture bringing people from all walks of life together in the name of sport. The Fair Play League is not just a kickabout in the park, it's an exciting tournament where not just the goals are counted. We went along to see how the teams got on.
Fair Play Football is an idea that the partners within Sport Links has come up with. Football is a very, very good sport, and obviously the lads are very interested in it. It brings them all together, and we thought that we want to bring football to the community, but wanted to add something else as well, which is good behaviour. And so we've thought of Fair Play Football. It is about winning, but it's all about their attitude as well and how they behave on the pitch and how they behave with each other. They play football and they do get points for winning, but they also get added points for their behaviour. For example, 3 points is perfect behaviour. No points means there could be some fouling, some bad language, arguing with the ref. And it just goes on about authority, respecting yourself, respecting others, not going out of your way to harm another person as well.
The Fair Play tournament is like, you have to get along with each other. If any dirty challenges, you're not allowed to do that. It's just about everyone having a good time and everything. If you do take somebody out, you've got to help them up and just got to make sure it's a good night and everything.
It's just like swearing and that, like you just really have a fair game and you'll get points added on.
Keep your mouth shut and then that's when you get your extra points.
Come along here tonight because it's a cracking example of all the different agencies working together to provide a range of activities for our young people. And when you go out there and have a look at the activities they're going, they're just fantastic. You know, 120 young people on a Saturday night getting involved in team sports, getting on really well. It's just a great piece of work. And the police, the youth service, our sports development, the private sector, the voluntary sector, they're all out there working together to put on those activities.
A lot of the young people that we're engaging through this project don't have the same opportunities that all of the young people have. By bringing them together and forming them as part of a team, we've given them all full football kits tonight. You know, they really look the part. We're hoping that it's going to build their confidence, build their self-esteem. They're going to gain skills around team working and communication skills, that sort of thing. So it's not just around the sport, although that's very important. You know, we want them to be able to move on to other things after this.
I think first and foremost it gives an opportunity to be involved and participate with other young people as well. We've brought them here tonight, 120 odd young people from all over the county playing against each other, which is absolutely fantastic. We're about participation and involvement for everybody. But what we have found working with, you know, generally younger people we haven't had contact with before, it does give us a chance to sort of dragnet for any really talented young individuals that we could put forward into the youth system at Grimsby Town, and nothing would please me more to see somebody come through the Sport Links programme and end up playing for Grimsby Town.
First of all, it's great fun. So you go out there and everyone's smiling and laughing and getting involved in the activities. It's obviously healthy, you know, it's keen that we must improve their health. They're getting on as a team, they're cooperating, they're working together, they're accepting the decisions from the referee, they're waiting their turn. It's just a fantastic social event.
We was a lot of trouble causers at first, and Danny, the police, a lot of them changed us and we got into a team.
And that's been happening for about a year now.
Going out and that.
Change that area though.
Doing a lot of tournaments and that lot, keeping ourselves out of trouble.
It's a fantastic tool. It really does bring young people together. It breaks down barriers. Territory is a massive issue within towns, and we've got teams out there at the moment that are from neighbouring communities. We've got Nunsthorpe, we've got Yarborough, we've got Willers-Wybers, we've got Immingham, we've got Scather, we've got Laceby Acres, we've got some in Cleethorpes, we've got the Shalom, which is Granthorpe Park. And if you'd have said that to a senior police officer that we were going to bring these young people together, he'd have looked at me and probably cried, because the potential is there. These aren't affiliated football teams, these are community groups, youth centres. And it's fantastic that they're all out there playing football, and that's obviously one thing they love to do.
Something to look forward to in the week and that, like in the week you got your Wednesday training and your Friday training, then at the weekend you sometimes got a tournament or a match, something to look forward to. Gets you read up for the match and that. And like most people in our team are all cousins and friends, and we all like bring dead close together and that, and we're always out with each other and that.
My team, I think, have gone away from looking at me as a police officer. I turn up in a tracksuit, I do whatever I can to them. My PCSOs are out there managing them now. And that shows ultimate respect that you've got an authoritative figure that wears a uniform that can go to their level, and that they can obviously up theirs and come to my level. It breaks down barriers with the police. It shows the young people that we're not there to make their lives a misery. 15 kids stood out CSB until somebody perceives that it is. But at the end of the day, if they're bored, what else have they got to do? That's why we're trying to engage them on a weekly football, but also bringing them here to show them that, you know, they're respected as well.
Last December, Leslie Vince was awarded an MBE for his services to the Marfan Trust charity. Leslie and his wife Jenny set up the local branch of the charity 7 years ago to raise money for research. We met up with Leslie to find out more about this rare genetic disorder.
Marfan syndrome is an inherited disorder of the body's connective tissues, which affects the eyes, heart, bones and muscles. There are approximately 10,000 of us in the country. Unfortunately, there is no cure for this illness, but with medical research and treatment, we try and make a better life for people, and that's where we raise money to try and make it a better life. From the age of 21, I have not been able to work because of such severe joint pains and muscle pains, and of course all the operations that I've incurred, which is 45 to date. I'm blind in my left eye. This was the result of a sneeze. It ripped the retina off. Again, it's to do with the muscles. And after 7 operations, they called it a day. In my right eye, I had 6 operations, and they saved the eye because the retina went wrong in that. But now I've got the early stages of glaucoma. Of course, you also get all the joint pains, all the muscle pains, all the way through the body. And for instance, when you have one of these operations, it takes so much longer because the muscles are not healing like a normal person's. So yes, constant pain is a problem. With it also being hereditary, unfortunately I lost my mother with this illness and my brother. They died through aortic problems with the heart. We hold raffles and tombolas and collections in local stores, and we find we get a good response from the general public. Because it's such a rare illness, they come and ask us questions, we give them leaflets, and in general we've got a good following.
We've also held a couple of events. A few years ago we had
a folk night, didn't we?
Yeah.
And raised about £800. And then this last week we had a dance, a Motown and Soul night, and raised over £1,000. So that's another way we can raise money, although it's quite difficult to do. It's much easier, I think anyway, collecting.
Yeah.
And at Christmas we always get dressed up.
My biggest achievement, and I think also my wife will agree with this as well, is earlier this year on the 23rd of May, I was very lucky to meet the Queen of England. I was named in the New Year's Honours List and I was awarded the MBE. And I must say this was one of the proudest moments of my life. To meet the Queen, to shake hands with the Queen, to talk to her and you know, tell her about the illness and so forth, was the icing on the cake.
Because of this, Les has been asked to open Tesco's store. They've just had a new mezzanine level put in and they're having an opening on Monday the 29th. And we've been asked to open it, and I don't think that would have happened if Les hadn't got the MBE. So yes, it's a really nice step forward for us and makes us a bit better known. And one of the projects that we're helping is for every paediatrician in the land to have a booklet on Marfan, because some know about Marfan, some don't. Doctors can't know every single illness in the world, but this way, if every single doctor has a book on Marfan, when they see a child and they think, well, something wrong here, and they look it up, and they can find out it's Marfan, then, you know, we're halfway there.
We normally raise approximately £4,500 a year. This year it looks like we're actually going to double that. And I'm hoping when people see this on your channel that they'll come to us and try and help us more.
We manage, I think you do. You know, you can't spend your life sort of saying, oh, I've got this illness and it's destroying me. It's not going to destroy him. We're going to live and live well.
I'm a happy-go-lucky person, and I must admit the charity fundraising does mean a lot to me, and I think it does to my wife as well, because at the end of the day, if we can raise money for research and help children and adults with this to give them a better life and hopefully give them a longer life, that's what it's all about.
Well, that's all we've got time for on today's Lincolnshire Living, but remember, the programme is about you and your community. So if you have a story, then do get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Bye for now.